Thanks a lot. Man, first thing we got on the docket. Now, Friday was March 8th.
Yes.
International Women's Day.
Yes.
Very, very, very big day.
Yes.
And I think that as time goes on now, had we had this conversation 5 years ago, we probably would have made a lot of jokes about women. And the jokes still happen now, but the jokes were more common back then because nobody took it serious. Now in this time of hypersensitivity, everyone wants to be politically correct about everything. Everyone wants to be right. It's just different now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I respect...
No, go ahead.
I mean, I've definitely participated in a joke or two. I'm not going to act holier than now. I think we all have because the jokes are funny.
Yeah.
But, I have the utmost respect for a lot of the women in my life. It's crazy. I didn't have a male teacher until 5th grade.
I think 8th grade was my first male teacher.
Yeah, man.
Not even gym, because my elementary school I had a female gym teacher.
I did too.
Yeah, so.
That's crazy.
8th grade. Math.
Mm-hmm. I always say that women will always and forever be stronger than men, just based off the fact, like, when you give birth. And I definitely, we talked about, I took a big old poop last night. Yeah, that's cool and all, man. But I think childbirth will equate that, just knock that out of the park 10 times out of 10.
Yeah.
Plus, on top of that, they deal with us. And I know I'm not easy to deal with, so.
Right. I don't know. I feel like I'm pretty easy to deal with. I don't know.
I guess it all depends how you're dealing with you.
Yeah, but no, 100%. I agree 100% what you're saying. If you just go back in history, they've had to deal with so much to still come out and prevail, and they're still trying to just be equal.
Yeah.
So I think they're definitely a lot stronger than men. Because men have had it easy, if you think about it. We've always been the ones on top, so of course we never really had to struggle,
right?
To get rights, to vote, to, work, and all that stuff. They've had to fight for all that stuff, and clearly they wanted it so bad, and then you're 100% right. They're a lot stronger than we are.
And then on top of that, there's still some sexism that goes on, even though it may not be directly directed at them, like calling them out of their name. It's kind of indirect. Like, for example, in the rap game, we pit women, not we, but there are some people in the background of the hip-hop industry that like to pit women against each other.
Mm-hmm.
And like to create beefs. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Whereas if they come together, that could be great, because there are a lot of dope, talented female artists.
There are a lot of dope female artists. I think that's more so just hip-hop, though, because they do the same thing with the males. There's just not as many female hip-hop artists out there, so it's like...
It looks even worse.
It looks a lot worse, because you can only put Cardi B and Nicki Minaj. Who else are you going to put up against those two? You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no big name. Mm-hmm. Even though those aren't even the best female rappers in the game, but I'm not going to get into that.
Not by a long shot. But yeah, it's just like, but even with that, to talk about the talent that's in the hip-hop game, I personally don't feel like, maybe my opinion's off, but maybe they don't get recognized enough, just based off what I listened to in the past literally 2 hours.
Yeah, no, 100%. They definitely don't. And I don't know if it's just because they're women, I'm sure a lot of guys probably think that women can't rap, but that's not true. Mm-hmm. You can go way back to when hip-hop was just kind of first forming, you had a bunch of female rappers, Queen Latifah was dope, you know what I'm saying? So, and they've always been here. I think it's just been so male-dominated that we kind of just drown them out with the amount of male voices, because there's so many of them. Then you'll get like the one, you'll every couple, decades you'll have that one female artist,
right.
And right now I guess it's Cardi B. Mm-hmm. Previous to that it was Nicki Minaj, so. But yeah, there's a lot more out there, but they just kind of get drowned out. And like I said before, maybe it's the subject matter. Maybe just a lot of people can't relate, and people that can relate are the women. And I'm assuming that more men listen to hip hop than women. I don't know, but from what is popular, that's what I'd assume. So I guess it's just kind of the numbers game of why they aren't as popular as they are.
Yeah, that definitely takes some digging into. I think that if you go back in the days, like 5 years ago, probably pre-2010, even definitely early 2000s, hip-hop was definitely male-heavy, male-dominated. But if you look at our biggest star in hip-hop right now is Cardi B. She's like bigger than some male artists right now. If we look
she definitely is bigger than male artists.
So, and she's a female, and some people don't consider her, like, in our opinion, like, you've told me this before, and I definitely can't speak for you, obviously, but, that she's definitely not the most talented person.
Not at all.
On the planet.
She's definitely big, though, and she's a whole brand.
Yeah.
So I understand why she's big, but skill-wise,
exactly.
there's just other people out there.
Absolutely. Not to slight Cardi, but that's just to make a point of our conversation that we're having here. So I think that
And actually, sorry to cut you off, but you want to know why I feel like a lot of female rappers don't get as big as they should be getting?
Why is that?
It's because look at all the female rappers recently that have been big. Like Cardi B, Nicki Minaj, Lil Kim. Look how they dress, how they act. And not that they shouldn't be acting like that or dressing like that. They can dress however they want to. But it's the quintessential. Is that the right word?
Yep, quintessential.
Bad B word. Look, you know what I'm saying? They got the long, straight hair, the different color weaves, the revealing clothes. Look at their music videos, how they're dancing. Look at their concerts, how they're dancing on there. How it's set up, what they're talking about. This is not, and not that guys don't talk about this. I guess is the same stuff on their side, but I mean, I feel like for a lot of female rappers to really get big, you have to look a certain way, act a certain way, present yourself a certain way. Because there's plenty of female artists, rappers that aren't, that are just normal girls, but they're cold, but they just don't get the same push for some reason. I guess that's because they aren't, not that they aren't appealing to look at, but they aren't, putting sex first.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I feel like a lot of female rappers kind of have to do that to get noticed because, like I said before, it's so male dominated that males are gonna want to see that. Oh man, she's bad. Let me see what she's talking about. But then if it's someone that just looks normal, just has a hoodie on and some just regular stuff, and they could be the coldest female, they could be the best rapper, in the whole world, but they won't even get as many looks just because they're not as, I guess, appealing to look at. You know what I'm saying?
That's a dope concept, bro. Good thing. That's genius, and I didn't even think about that. Because I'm thinking about it now, would the world, or I'm not even gonna speak for the world, speak for myself. If Cardi, so I heard Bodak Yellow before I even saw Cardi for a few, and I was like, yo, this is crazy. Would I have listened to Invasion of Privacy if I had not seen Cardi? Like the pictures, how she presents herself, I don't know if I would have. And I know that sounds super duper sexist, I'm not, if you guys know me, you know I'm not sexist, I'm not trying to say that, but speaking to back his point, and neither of us are sexist. Speaking to back his point, that makes sense because I can personally tell you, if Cardi had not presented herself the way that she had, I probably wouldn't have listened to her to begin with, or really listened to Invasion of Privacy. And I know a bunch of males out there couldn't agree the same way. Again, I'm not sexist, but I'm just making a very valid point. That's true. Whereas you look at Missy Elliott, everyone rocking Missy Elliott, but Missy Elliott was just one of a kind. But to my knowledge, I would hate to misspeak. Please, someone correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think she sold text like that. Like
I don't think so.
What I can remember about Missy was the big garbage bag video.
Yeah, no, that's oh, you talking about Missy Elliott?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, she's a different type of talent.
Right.
So like she, obviously isn't gonna be in the same category as the female rappers of today.
Right.
But yeah, no, you're right. Like I didn't really see it as her like selling, and obviously we were children at the time, so maybe we didn't see it. You know what I'm saying? So we could be completely wrong.
If we're wrong, please don't kill us.
Right. But I get what you're saying. But again, like those are generational talents, generational talents. And I'm not saying that there aren't female rappers that haven't been successful without selling sex. There's that obviously have been out there. I guess I'm talking more so now. You know what I'm saying? I feel like looks plays such a big part in just everything.
Yeah.
Everything that we do now. So you wanna have the nails done, and the makeup on, and the big butt and the big boobs and the small waist. You know what I'm saying? And if you don't have that, I mean, just look at all the big, I guess, the up and coming female rappers or even the big female rappers right now. Just they all kind of look similar.
We look at.
I gotta look at.
I know.
Some of the names.
Well, two Cardi, Nicki, they both look similar. Big boobs, big butt, long hair, all that kind of stuff. Cool. Well then, I'm thinking, I don't know, Dreezy, I think her name is.
Dreezy.
I don't know.
Yeah, D-R-E.
Yeah, D-R-E-Z.
I think it's Dreezy.
I don't know if she's built the same as them, but like that's what they're selling. But if you look at the female artists, I like No Name and Tierra Whack. Like, to my knowledge, they dress. I was a brief. Glance on their Instagram, I didn't see anything sultry or anything showing their body, but when I listen to their music, it washes Nicki and Cardi out of the park.
Washes them, especially No Name, man. I listened to her and I was like, I don't know how she's not bigger.
Boy.
just as a lyricist, you know what I'm saying? And it's frustrating. Even Young M.A., you know what I'm saying? She's like, obviously, she's, you know, not a girly girl, obviously, but
right.
If we talk about female rappers, you have to, I mean, because every single time she puts any remix out, even her songs, she just kills them. And she just never gets brought up, but it's always Cardi B and Nicki Minaj. And it's kind of frustrating, because I'm like, there are other girls out there that make music, you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't have, it's not just them. And they are clearly just not the best of the two. I think Nicki Minaj is a better rapper than Cardi B is. You know what I'm saying? If we're just talking about rapping ability, you feel me? I don't listen to her, but if I had, you know, I have heard some pretty dope like verses. You know, her monster verse. I was like, what?
It's classic verse. Yeah.
Classic verse. That might even be the best verse off the song. You know what I'm saying? So like, I don't know. There's just better people out there, but because they aren't putting sex first, I feel like it's kind of hurting them. But they shouldn't have to do that to be noticed. You know what I'm saying?
It's like the reverse with males. You know, and I think it's changed now, or it is changing, but a few years ago, if you were male and you did talk about, you know, smashing women, selling drugs, whatever, you weren't the guy. If you were talking about shooting somebody, or I'm flipping a brick, I'm doing this, I got this kind of watch, no. But if you want to say, man, the other day it kind of hurt me when my girl left me, or, you know, you talk about things going on at home, then it's just like, you know, you whack. Now it's changed. Now it's different. Everyone, you know, I feel like it's getting, one, social media does play a part in that, because social media brings everything to the light.
Yeah.
But two, I think that you don't have to have that like toxic masculinity, like I'm from the streets, all I do is rap about the streets. Even if I'm not from the streets, I gotta rap about that to really get myself out there. It's not like that anymore.
Yeah, well, you know, I think for a while, hip hop, and I guess you could just say music in general, but maybe even more so hip hop, just because of what the rappers were talking about, and then you see just how big of a genre it is, and clearly not everyone is from, you know, the streets, you know, had to, you know, sell drugs and, you know, join gangs and shootouts. No, obviously not everyone who listens to hip hop had to do that. I think sometimes people use hip hop more as like to kind of escape reality. You know what I'm saying? Because I'll see like memes, you know, on Twitter and Facebook and all that stuff, and they'll be like, you know, oh, me listening to rappers talking about murdering people and selling drugs on my way to my 9-to-5 job. You know what I'm saying? Like, and you know, and it's just like, clearly you're not doing that, so it's kind of like just a fantasy world that you can kind of enter in, you know, and that same goes with the girls, you know, they have these girls with long leaves, you know, the perfect, I'm holding quotes, air quotes, if people can't see, the perfect bodies, you know what I'm saying, the money, this and that, you know, and they're like, oh man, like I want to be like that. Right. Just like all the guys like, man, I want to be like Jay, I want to be like Lil Wayne, I want to be like, you know, all those guys. So, you know, I just think it's, some people use hip hop as a way to kind of escape and just kind of pretend for a little bit that they are that type of person, you know.
Another thing that I feel like slights these female rappers is the fact that if they don't, not only do they not look the part, like the sex part, if they don't rap about it. That's
man.
One thing that really bothers me because
man.
I get tired of it. That's one thing, again, not to knock Cardi, I like her, but invasion of privacy, as we said before on the show, we're not the biggest fans of it. I'm not. It's not trash, but it definitely shouldn't have got a Grammy. And I get it, you change up the content, you know, you talk about Offset, you talk about, then you go talk about sex again. Then you may talk about money, then you go talk about sex again. It's like, yo, can you tell me something different? Like,
I 100% feel what you're saying, and I've had my own, you know, I've thought about that too every time. I was like, man, they keep talking about the same thing. Like, I can't listen to this. Like, you know, I don't care about what's wet on her, and you know, this is. But guys is the same thing though. Like literally, the guy rappers is the same thing. So it's, you know, it's kind of like double standard in a sense, you know, because guys talk about, you know, how long this is, you know, and oh, I took your girl and I did this, you know, and you know, this and that, blah blah blah, and she loves me because of this, and, you know, so I just think it's because it's a guy saying it, we can relate. Or maybe it's just the way they say it or whatever. I don't know, but I do understand what you're saying. Like some girls do rap about just one thing, you know what I'm saying? But there are also guys that do the same thing. And just because there's so many more male rappers out there, there's just a lot more that do talk about other stuff, so it's not as pushed in our face. But for female rappers, because only a certain look, a certain sound is getting pushed, that's what we're hearing. And just because I guess that's what's popular now with the female rappers, it's going to continue until something else kind of comes up.
Well, that, and you know, it's not that there's a small amount of female rappers, it's just there's so many men.
Yeah. That's true.
And then
Yeah.
you know, there's this is obviously not accurate, guys. There's 100,000 men, but 2,000 women. 2,000 women is still a lot of people, but compared to 100,000, it's not. It's kind of that thing in the rap game, whereas you have a ton of men and you have a good amount of women, but they're just not as big as the men, so they get slighted.
Yeah, you know, and I realize that we are two men talking about female rappers and
Right.
why they are the way they are. So I'd love to hear like a female, either female's perspective or female that likes hip hop, like actually like listens and invests her time into hip hop, or even just a female rapper. I'd love to hear their perspective on kind of like where hip hop is going for females, and what they kind of see and the challenges that they face, dealing with that.
My homie Dr. Backwoods, man, if I could get her up here, I'd definitely. We spoken one time, but next time I see her, I definitely have to ask her. So
yeah, because that's interesting. Because I know how I see it, but I feel like I'm looking at it from one way.
Right.
I'd love to have the other perspective on what we're talking about.
Absolutely, man. Can you believe that we've already been talking for 20 minutes?
No,
That didn't feel like 20 minutes at all.
not at all.
It feels like 10. Or like, I'm big chilling. So check it out, man. You know I call high school basketball games. And interesting, a player named Brian Brown. Well, one, I want to give a big shout out to the Stevenson Patriots for winning the sectional against Waukegan Bulldogs. It was a hard-fought game and a great season by both teams. Brian Brown, who is a stud, dude gets buckets for Waukegan. He's got a few offers coming up here. He made a very valid tweet the other day, and I've been thinking about this for a while too. He said the high school basketball needs a shot clock.
Yeah,
and
they do.
I don't know when the last time you watched a basketball game in high school, but watching him myself, to be able to hold the ball for literally over a minute.
Yeah, I saw a video of this team. They were up and they held the ball for like 2 minutes until the game was over, and they were just passing. And I was just like I can't even. How is that even?
Fair. How's it even legal, bro? And they're gonna say, "Oh, it's fair because it's in the rules." Okay, but the rules don't always make sense.
Yeah.
So,
and plus, if you're trying to get these guys to go up to obviously not all of them, but if you're trying to get them acclimated to the next level, but the next level has a shot clock.
Yep.
So they're gonna have to learn okay, now I actually gotta get this off. Isn't it like 36 seconds, 35 seconds in college? Which it should just be 20. I don't know.
I'll give it 24 because they are 24 is because they are professionals.
That's what I'm saying.
They're the
but
in college 35 because you need more time. Not every player at the college level is at that pro level that had the same amount of skill, which is probably why they give it no shot clock at high school, because those kids. So remember, not everybody plays. Just as you said, not everybody that plays basketball in high school doesn't even go to the next level. So some kids don't have that skill, so that they use the shot clock to kind of acclimate for that lack of skill.
But that's not your fault. I mean, if you don't have the lack of skill, then you shouldn't be playing. If you shouldn't be playing the game, you shouldn't have a team. Not trying to be mean, but I'm just saying, you should be able to run a play within a certain amount of time and either have that play succeed or not, and not just be able to pass the ball around and run around and this and that for 2 minutes or however long just to get something off.
It makes me so mad.
Yeah. No, I think they should have a shot clock. It doesn't even make sense why they wouldn't have a shot clock.
Doesn't either. Now, I was speaking to a local coach out here. Big shout out to Coach King. He was explaining to me that the only reason maybe why they wouldn't could be a money reason, because if you think about it, whoever the governing body is for every high school in America, whoever that is, I don't know. Looking out them. Now, if they're gonna buy shot clocks, it gotta be top brand. So probably TSO or something like that. Top brand clocks. They gotta send them to every high school in the country in Puerto Rico. So that's gonna be millions of dollars and millions of time to train people to use it. I'm sure it's not hard to use. Probably just press a button and this, whatever.
Yeah.
But maybe that's only argument. But my thing is, you make billions of dollars every year. You have to make billions of dollars every year, because how else are you sanctioning holding all these high school games? How are you this governing body?
Right.
And again, it takes away the competitive edge. I watched the other night, and I could be wrong. So if you're at this game and I'm wrong, please do correct me. But Stevenson was up on Waukegan, and literally they had about 4 minutes left in the game. They took the ball and passed it around the perimeter for like a minute and a half. And my thing is, then on top of that, you try and get the ball back, you try to steal it, then you call for a foul. Then you don't take his free throws.
Yeah.
Because odds are, when you reach for the ball on 10 times, 6 out of those times you probably get called for a foul.
Yeah.
And so now you foul that person, now you put him at the line for free throws. Do you foul him? Do you go for a steal? You foul him? You only get 5 fouls in high school too.
Yeah, I mean it's a tough predicament. It may be a money thing, but that's not even it's not even basketball at that point. I feel like, you know what I'm saying? Like there's no competition.
It feels like pickup basketball.
Yeah, exactly, and that's not what it is. It should there should be rules regulating like, yeah, you guys, they're at least 40 seconds. You know what
That's
I'm
what
saying?
I'm saying. 40 seconds, because even though if you don't have the skill, why should you be playing? Some players still make the team, but maybe they just try to acclimate that for that fact. Because you can make the team and not have talent.
Yeah, I mean, you could, and then you just could be a bad team. I mean, not every team's supposed to be amazing. You know what I'm saying? Like, not some people just aren't good.
Yeah.
You know, so that's just how it is.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that you should just be like, well, since you're not as good as this team, we're gonna give you as much time as you want to get a shot off. Like, no, like you still gotta get the shot off on a certain time just so you can keep the game going. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. But yeah, I don't know. I don't see how that helps anything. It just kind of feel like it ruined it.
It does.
You know what I'm saying?
It does. I sat there and I was just like, this game can be more competitive if Stevenson had to put up a shot to get and for Waukegan to get the ball back and go score. That makes things more competitive. And like I said, it gets these kids ready for the next level. I've never read an article about a kid who has had trouble acclimating to the shot clock the next level.
I'm sure it isn't like a big problem, but you know, it's still, you know what I'm saying? Like, there should be at least some similarities across the board, you know, when it comes to sports. It doesn't have to be like the 24-second shot clock, but it definitely should at least be, okay, I know there's a timer that I gotta, you know, that we gotta get this off. Okay, in the next level, I know it's a timer now, it's a shorter timer, but I'm used to having, you know what I'm saying? And then you can kind of move up. Yeah. But, I don't know, man, it just doesn't make sense.
It doesn't. It doesn't. Oh. And I was really confused. My first couple games I was calling, I'm like, man, there's no shot clock, and then I was like, oh, there's no shot clock in high school basketball, and that was a big change for me, you know, just watching, because I watched college shot clock, NBA shot clock, you know. So at what point I would hate for something. The thing I've noticed is about life is that for something to change, something really stupid has to happen. Yeah. Somebody has to shoot up something for it to be a gun law change. You know what I'm saying? Like well, even that's a whole different topic. That may not even happen, but something ridiculous has to happen for a law change. So I don't know if a team's gonna dribble off the ball for 5-6 minutes in a row.
I could see it, you know, if I could see it. You know what I'm saying? Especially if it's like a close game and then there's like, listen, we're up like 2-4 points, we're just gonna dribble this ball out, you know, until they don't have time to score a point. You know what I'm saying?
Pretty much.
There has to be a time limit though when how long you're holding onto the ball though, right?
Oh, one person holding it? Yeah.
No, but I'm saying there's like the team having it and not attempting a shot. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if there is or not. I'm not that, you know, well read on high school basketball rules, but if there isn't, at least, all right, you can't, you know, 2 minutes is the time limit. You know, there has to be something. There's no way you can just hold on to a ball as a team and just not even attempt to go towards the basket. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. All right, guys, next topic we got. Did you watch Captain Marvel?
No.
You did not?
Not yet.
Captain Marvel is crazy. That movie is so fire. I'm not going to give away any spoilers. I'm doing my best not to. Only thing I'm going to say is her powers are dope, the storyline is dope, and make sure you stay after the credits. If here in
you have to stay after the credits.
Dude, if it's 2019 and you not staying behind on the credits and there's no emergency you have to leave, what are you doing?
Yeah, man. People always just run out of the theater like this movie will be just and it's over. Okay, give me some. You know, I gotta get
it. Where you?
You know how much missing? You know,
like. This is 2019. You're a Marvel movie. You're really getting up and leaving. And typically, people who see Marvel movies have seen Marvel movies before.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess some people just don't care. You know that, or
I had to run out of
true fans.
Right. You know? It's not in their blood.
Yeah.
I had to run out of Deadpool because I had to go pick somebody up, and I kind of regret that. But I went back on YouTube, looked it up later.
I would have just been like, "Though, I'm gonna say a little bit after this movie. You're good. I'll be there in a minute."
It was cold outside, so I felt bad. I had to go get him. You know what I'm saying? He was working at Six Flags. You can't wait inside. So I was like, man, let me go get my guy. I'll look it up on YouTube later. Whatever. Yeah, I was hot. But the bigger question is, how do you feel about Marvel being the best, the Marvel Cinematic Universe being the best movie franchise series ever?
Like, all of them? Every Marvel movie ever?
Talk about the entire franchise.
The universe?
The Marvel Cinematic Universe. All the movies from, like, even though the first Marvel movie was Blade, way back when. From Blade all the way up until Captain Marvel that just came out now.
Oh, yeah, I mean, there's definitely an argument for it. There's definitely an argument for it. There's a couple, I guess, that. You put Harry Potter up there. That was huge. They have a whole theme park.
Really?
Yeah, they have
I didn't
a whole
know that.
theme park of Harry Potter. So, I mean, it's still big to this day, you know? And I don't even know if have they come out with, like, new movies.
Not
Not
to
new
my
movies,
knowledge.
definitely not new movies. But I think there's like another like book series that's in like the Harry Potter universe, but it isn't like Harry Potter.
Really?
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure, so I could probably just be lying, but I'm
Right.
pretty sure there's like another thing to it that's, I guess it's also pretty big. But yeah, no, Marvel, I mean, just the way it all connects, it's huge. And I mean, they're obviously making ridiculous amounts of money off of these movies.
Stupid money.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, it's just interesting to really sit back and watch everything unfold. Because I remember being a kid and going to see Iron Man. I had to be the Dunes. Remember the Dunes in Zion?
Mm-hmm.
That was still up. That's where I
Yeah.
saw that. So it had to be at least a good 10 years ago.
Oh yeah.
And like when I first saw it, I was like, "Oh, this is cool." Now I'm here years later to see how everything connects. And if I were to sit here and go over the Marvel Cinematic Universe history with you guys, we'd be here for hours.
Yeah, it would take way too long.
We don't have that time. I think I probably missed some steps, but please go do your homework on it. It is completely worth it. So you can start with Blade because technically that's the first, but it has nothing to do with the timeline now.
They should make another Blade movie.
They should with Idris
He
Elba.
was really the first black superhero.
He
You know what I'm
was.
saying? Like, I
Before
don't
Black
know.
Panther.
But way before Black Panther. He was cold too. He was sing. Slicing up vampires, man.
It was a bad boy. Wasn't he a vampire too?
He was like like a daywalker, I think. So like he could like I think it was like part vampire. I don't know. I don't know the specifics on that, but yeah, he was a vampire, or at least part vampire.
Yeah. He was a bad boy though.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
Mhm.
So like when people say Black Panther was the first, no, he wasn't.
Nah.
Blade was the first. Black Panther is just the most popular.
And it was because you know it was Africa and all that stuff, and then man, like it was a good movie, but I feel like it was just so.
You mad?
I'm not mad at all. It was just like I don't know. I feel like they were kind of pandering a little bit.
You think it was
Yeah.
kind of hype?
A little bit. Like the movie itself was good, but it wasn't like oh my god. But
I thought
it was a dope movie though.
Yeah.
It was a dope movie. I'm not trying to say it wasn't good. You know, maybe just because it was like the black superhero, so it was that much more hyped, which I'm sure. You know.
T'Challa is not even my favorite character. My favorite character was Killmonger.
He was a dog.
He was a super duper dog.
He was a dog.
You know what I'm saying? But pretty much, guys, moral of the story, we got off topic, is that the Marvel Cinematic Universe is going down as the greatest movie, story timeline, series ever.
I feel like you should say more so like just cinematic universe is the best cinematic universe. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know if
like,
there were other cinematic, well, DC Cinematic Universe, I guess.
well, yeah, there are. I don't know exactly. I know Quentin Tarantino, like all his movies are in the same universe. You know what I'm saying? So like Kill Bill and Reservoir Dogs, I think, is also one.
I've never seen Reservoir Dogs.
It's a good movie.
Yeah?
Yeah, it is. It definitely is one of his. Yeah, and then Pulp Fiction. You know, all. Yeah, have you seen Pulp Fiction?
I don't think so.
Yeah. Right.
You sound disappointed.
Well, I mean, it's a pretty classic movie. I feel like you just kind of see those.
I've never seen
Django.
The Django? Seen the Django.
Yeah. You
Django.
say the Django?
The Django.
I say Django.
I thought it was the Django.
I don't know. I say Django. I think it's Django. I've heard it's pronounced both ways, but yeah. I mean, I could definitely see the argument for best cinematic universe.
Yeah.
But like, I wouldn't say because not all. Just because they're all in the same universe doesn't mean it's a series of movies. You know what I'm saying?
What do you mean?
I just feel like because like they are all in this, they're happening in the same area, but that doesn't necessarily mean there's like you said, because Blade doesn't necessarily tie into like
correct
the Avengers,
right?
You know what I'm saying? Like he's not gonna come in and start slicing.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? But like the universe though, since it is all taking place in one thing, it's like man, that's crazy, you know.
Yeah.
So that I can see the argument for that.
Yeah, and then bring it all together with Thanos.
Yeah, and then you know how the different villains are in the other movies, and then kind of like make cameos. So like that's really dope.
Yeah.
And yeah, they're doing a great job of that. It's super cool how everything kind of ties in together. Even though they aren't making them in like order, so you kind of gotta like piece it together. Like okay, that came up before this one, but this is before that one. You know, like this is like in the '90s, isn't it? So
Kind of,
like,
because
like
Fury, this is before Fury's messed up eye, and we created the Avenger Initiative.
Yeah, so like this is before any of this other stuff happened. You know what I'm saying? So like,
but
I don't have a problem with that.
Right, because
like,
it's cool. It's cool the way they're unfolding it.
Oh yeah, definitely. I plan on watching both Captain Marvel and Endgame.
Avengers Endgame.
Yeah. Which just the sound of the name of the movie, it has to be so.
Somebody better die.
Well, that happened last time.
Well, they faded away.
So you talking about like?
I need somebody to be like, yo, he's not
dying.
coming back. Yeah, like
it'd be dope if like they were rated R. I wish superhero movies were rated R.
Yeah,
like,
man.
It's so, man, like, what? I forgot which one. I forgot which Avengers it was, but when they were like in New York City and like
The first one.
The first one. Okay, yeah. You know, and they were destroying it. Like I'm trying to see like bodies like on the ground, people falling out of the building. Like I'm trying to see like the damage. But like I understand why they don't, because obviously kids are going there. But like, man, I want some realism.
I feel you, because in New York City, man, that was probably one of the most action-packed movies, and that and Black Panther. Like, you got people out here getting ran over by rhinos.
Right, and they're just, like, knocked out. Like, no. Like, their heads are gone.
Right,
you know what I'm saying? Like, they're getting stepped on.
Right, like Arrow, for example. When Hawkeye shoot somebody, dude, there'd be blood squirting everywhere.
Yes.
And I'm just like, ugh.
Right, and it's like, what?
Or when Iron Man shoot people. Like, there should be...
They just disintegrate.
Yes.
They have holes just in their body. You know what I'm saying? Like...
Definitely, but they need the kids. Now, especially now that Marvel's owned by Disney, that's definitely out of the...
Well, I heard like they're not gonna like. There are some like rated R movies that they've done, and I've heard that they're not gonna like stop doing it. Blade?
Yeah. Not gonna. I could have sworn Blade was rated R.
I don't think so, but I wouldn't be. I don't think so. But yeah, I feel like I've read somewhere where they aren't gonna stop the rated R movies when it comes to superheroes, but obviously they're not gonna make more. But yeah, I mean, I just think it'd be a lot more realistic. You know what I'm saying? If they just had real like damage going on, you know what I'm saying? I think that'd be interesting to see.
Definitely, because we as Blade was rated R.
Okay, yeah.
Because we as consumers prefer realism over stuff that we can't.
Like Deadpool, even though Deadpool was like a funny movie, but like when he killed somebody, like he killed somebody. Like Greg, in the beginning of the first movie, when that dude slammed up against the sign. You know, and then like he splattered on the sign. Like I was like, but that would really happen though. But in like a PG-13 movie, he would just hit the sign, and then he would just like, ugh, and like, no, he's gone. Right, like, he's disintegrated.
Yeah, it would definitely be interesting to see. All right, guys, we're gonna take a quick music break. When we get back, we got more talk. We're gonna talk about technology, how it's taking over, guys. Thank you so much. School Detention. So technology is taking over, bro. I know we always see the movies, we always see crazy stuff like that, but if you really look at it, man, stuff is going down. Jobs are being replaced. That's why, and originally, guys, I wanted to be a firefighter, and one real reason that really made me want to do it, kind of underlying, was that it can't be replaced by technology. Right. What I'm doing now, talking, you can't replace Devonn, Overstreet. You can't make another Devonn.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I try and find careers that cannot be replaced by technology, because if you work in a factory, pushing a lever all the time, your time is coming soon.
It's already happened in like Detroit, and like with the car companies and all that stuff, and Amazon's doing it. They're even having stuff to where like they'll have like drones deliver packages to you, so delivery drivers are gone. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy just to think that, and it's scary, but it's also, depending on how it's handled in the near future, I feel like it could be really cool and really dope, depending on if that frees up more time for humans to just do what they want to do, or are you still going to have to require, humans to have to work, and then what jobs are they going to be able to get because of that, because all these jobs are taken from technology. What about people that can't just, code really, really well? But then I've even read that coding will soon be taken over by computers as well. Not right now, but it will soon happen, So what's going to happen when there's not enough jobs for everybody? The 300 plus million people that live in America.
You're going to have a bunch of homeless people. And you're going to have a bunch, people, crime rate's going to go up. When we don't have jobs, crime goes up because people need money. Crime goes up, murder goes up. Then on top of that, people are going to want to move to a certain place and maybe has more jobs that isn't timed out yet. I think what's really going to affect is the older generation. So our parents. Our parents are not privy to technology like we are.
Right.
So like, for example, my father, shout out to you, Dad, if you're listening. He is a service technician for a packaging company. He fixes machines.
Yeah, that's going to be good.
Right.
I don't think that can be replaced though, because they need to. Is a machine going to fix a machine? Like, is it going to travel? I mean, maybe. I don't know. I don't know. You're right. I don't know how it's going to, advance.
If, no disrespect to my dad, I can't see. I mean, I'm sure my dad can do anything, and he's learning new things now, but I think about that, too. It's just like, could that job easily be replaced? Because that's manufacturing. Manufacturing is going to be taken over probably, unless you're going to be an architect who's designing these machines, or you're, the big boss behind it. Like you said, with GM, technology is going to take over, start doing this stuff.
Yeah.
you know? Whereas you have people, like I said, my dad who may not be as technology savvy as us, whereas our kids, or even my nephews, you know, they're getting Chromebooks for school.
Yeah.
Literally, bro. We used to get textbooks, put little covers on them to make them cool, little blue, red, and green ones. Trash.
Trash. So trash.
So trash. But then now, like, these little kids are getting Chromebooks, and like,
it's ridiculous.
And I think I'm showing them something. Oh, Uncle Devonn, I already know how to do that.
Yeah, you're like, what?
Excuse me. Like, embed this link, Uncle Devonn. What does embed mean?
Exactly. But the thing is, the school's got to make sure. Now, obviously, I'm not in middle school or high school anymore, so I don't know what they're teaching. But like, they got to make sure that they're teaching kids the ways of the future, not so like go to college and get a a degree in this and that, and you'll have a job, because that may not be that's just not the case anymore. A lot of these degrees that are these kids are going into, like accounting, that can be done by a machine. You know what I'm saying? All that stuff can be done by machines. They even have in China. They had the first surgery. There was like a dental procedure, all robots. So that means surgeons at one point could be gone. They did surgery on a grape. I'm sure you've seen that. They like stitched up a grape. And stuff.
I think I have.
Yeah, that's crazy. So even people that are like, oh, I'm set. I went to school for 12, 13, 14. I don't know how long it takes, but it takes a long time to become a doctor. Machines are going to eventually take over that as well. And I don't have to pay you hundreds of thousands of dollars. I don't have to pay for you to go to school. We just have a machine.
Or pay for my practice insurance too.
Exactly. So I mean, there's just so many things that are going to be taken over, and that's what I'm saying. Depending on how we handle it in the near future, it could either be super, super dope and be like, oh man, now this frees up so much more time for creativity, art, music. This because robots can't do that. Now, they can do it, but it's they aren't as creative, as unique as human beings are. So if it allows us to start using our uniqueness and our creativity to kind of do what we want to do in life, then that'd be awesome. But if they're still kind of like you need to work, but you need to find a job that supports you, this and that. Go ahead. I know you want to say something.
Not even to cut you off.
No, you're good.
But think about it though. In order to do what we want to do, we need money.
Right.
And money comes from jobs.
Right.
So if a lot of jobs are taken out of place, and now millions of Americans are being displaced, and now everyone wants to get into art and be creative, which is dope. If you want to be a creative, go right ahead. Please feel free.
That's not everybody though. Not everyone wants to do that.
It's not everybody.
Yeah.
Excuse me. It's not everybody. And on top of that, I can just see it becoming a fad. And people are going to be genuine about it, and people are going to try and rush into it. And then on top of that, being creative does not pay very well in the beginning, unless you.
Not at all.
Not at all. Like, trust me, I can tell you right now, it does not pay well.
Oh no, I know. Yeah, I mean, I don't have the solutions. You know what I'm saying? There are people that I know 2020 is coming up, and I'm not going to get into politics. I'm not going to put who I'm going for, but there are people out there that are talking about these things. There's a couple candidates that are acknowledging this and trying to come up with ways to kind of combat that problem coming up. So hopefully that we get somebody that knows what's going on, regardless of whatever side they're on. Because I hate Republicans and Democrats in the whole.
It's stupid.
It's my side. This is my side. This is my side. Like, it doesn't matter. Like,
right.
Who's the best candidate?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's all that matters. But
yeah.
That's a different conversation.
It is.
Yeah, I mean, but we need people working on this problem, because it can't just be left up to the American people, because they got other things that they have to worry about. They can't worry about, okay, I got to provide for my family, and also, what am I going to do when my job's taken over? Okay, now I got to learn this. And not everyone can, I'm not expecting 40, 50, 60-year-olds to be, okay, well, let me just go ahead and learn the code.
That's what I'm saying.
Or design a website, because that's just not possible. Some of them, I'm sure, can do it, but that's just not possible for everybody. I mean, I'm sure I got friends now that'd be like, yo, like, you trying to learn how to code, and it's like, I don't understand it. You know what I'm saying? I just don't get it. But that's what I'm saying. If the kids that are in school now, elementary school, middle school, even high school, if they're learning it at a young age and they're already used to it when they get into college or wherever they decide to get into, it's going to be such an easier transition for them than to tell them, oh, I know you just spent your whole career or college career learning this, but this isn't use. We don't need this anymore. We need this. So spend some more time learning this. And you're like, bro, I'm 25 and now I got to learn a whole new thing just so I can get a job, After, what was the point of me going to college, you know what I'm saying? That I was told that would help me.
Right, and that's the issue that we have a lot of now, whereas like people being taught things that they don't need.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Go like pretty much not the reaction you just said, but the whole go to a 4-year school, get a bachelor's degree, get a job right out. That's dead now. That formula is defunct.
It doesn't work.
It it no longer works anymore. But guys, we do gotta get wrapped up. Big shout out to Jordan. He just sent me the biggest I've never. Oh, that's what it means. Okay, thank you, sir. Bipartisanship.
Yeah, bipartisanship.
Okay, thank you, Jordan.
Boom, boom.
Thank you. We appreciate that, bro. We gotta get wrapped up though. You should have texted us earlier. We gotta get you back up here, man. When all three of us come together, I like to call it the lunch table.
Yeah, that's nice.
Same with the school theme. You know, we gotta get it back up here. But where can they find you at, bro?
You can find me on Instagram. Type in my name, Pierce Anderson. You can find me on Facebook. I don't even use Facebook, but you can find me on Facebook. What else? Twitter. My phone number is 847.
But man, you also have a movie out. So if you guys want to go check that out,
I do have
it is called The Granny Shot. If you guys want to check it out, go peep.
Yeah, it's on Amazon Prime. Just type in The Granny Shot.
Definitely.
I'm in it.
If you guys want to find me here every Monday. Oh, I should close with that one. That's okay though. Find me here every Monday, every Monday, 5-6 p.m. here on 90.3 WRLR. Find me on Facebook at Devonn Overstreet, Facebook at School Detention, Twitter at DStreets815. I take a breath. Instagram at @devonnalan. Thank you guys so much. You guys have a blessed day. Stay out of trouble. Stay warm. And no show next week. I will be in Los Angeles, California. So expect some content coming soon. Thank you.